Yo, what's up? Ogechi, Aghaji, aka Oaghaji here with another review. Now, before I begin, just want to let y'all know, as usual, that if y'all hear any background noises and talking and whatnot, that is my family, my familia. Y'all feel my, you know what I'm saying? Even though it's quiet right now, I just want to give y'all the heads up, just in case, y'all. So, with that out of the way, let's begin this review. Today's review is going to be on the 1983 Hong Kong Kung Fu film classic Shaolin and Wu-Tang, aka Shaolin versus Wu-Tang. Or the more appropriate way to say it is Shaolin and Wudang. You know what I'm saying? So, and I have the notes of this film written down with its cast, crew, production company, as well as the plot. So, yeah, here it goes, y'all. It stars Lao Gafai, aka Gordon Liu, Adam Cheng, Chen Li, Ida Cheng, Wang Wai, Kwan Hoi Sun, and Keung Han, and more. The fight choreography was done by Lao Yuk-Lin, and it's also produced by Lao Yuk-Lin, and it's directed by Lao Gafai, aka Gordon Liu. And the screenwriters are Huang, Pa-Ching, and Katy, Shu-Mei, and the production company, Hing Film Company. Yeah. So with that out of the way, let's read the plot synopsis, shall we? Master Lu and Master Law are rival masters of Shaolin and Wudang Kung Fu, respectively, running schools in the same city. Meanwhile, a Manchu prince tries to pit both the Shaolin and the Wudang against each other, especially the two students of each school against each other, which are Han Jin-Ket of Shaolin and Chung Fu Wu, who are best friends and respect each other's styles, while he attempts to learn both styles himself. Once students learn of his plot, they must find a way to stop them while trying to settle their differences while fighting in a contest between both the Shaolin and the Wudang. Yeah, that's the best synopsis of the plot that I can give, you know what I'm saying, that I have written down. So, yeah. Yeah, I think the story, the story isn't too bad, you know what I'm saying? It's a pretty interesting take on the rivalry between the Shaolin and the Wudang, which are real life, temples. You know what I'm saying? Shaolin is a Buddhist temple. You know what I'm saying? It practices like Chan Buddhism, and the Wudang Mountain Temple practices Taoism, and they both study martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty interesting. So, which is cool. I like the fact that Hon Jun-Kit and Chao Feng Wu, even though they come from rival schools, the Shaolin and the Wudang, they are pretty good friends. But, their friendship is being tested, when again a Manchu prince or a Manchu lord tries to pit them against each other so that way he can learn both styles, you know what I'm saying? And they have this contest that pit the two schools, Shaolin and Wudang, against each other. And the two students, the two friends, are trying to reconcile their differences and try to put an end to this Manchu lord's plot. You know what I'm saying, which is pretty cool. Gordon Liu and Adam Cheng did a fantastic job in their roles. The two female leads, Cheng Li and Ida Chan, did a fantastic job as well, especially Ida Chan as the Manchu princess. And one of my favorite roles from Ida Chan is Sulong Loi from the 1980s TVB adaptation of the Jin Yang or Gum Yang wuxia novel, Return of the Condor Heroes, which is the second novel in the Condor Hero trilogy, along with Legend of the Condor Heroes, which is the first one, and the Heaven, Sword, and Dragon Saber, which is the third and final novel in the trilogy, which is cool. So she did a fantastic job in playing Sulong Loi, or Shaolong Nu, or I should say, I'm just going to use the Cantonese pronunciation, Sulong Loi, with opposite Andy Lau, who plays Yun Guo, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, and some of the comedy bits are also pretty good too. You know, the comedic band between Gordon Liu and Adam Cheng, which I definitely enjoyed. And the drama, with them as well as the female leads is definitely pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely enjoy that as well. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's more I can say. That's all I'm gonna say about the story and plot and whatnot without spoiling it too much for those who haven't seen it. So I'm gonna give the story, characters, acting, and comedy a 4.5 out of 5. Now the action is just awesome. Very well choreographed by the late great Lao Gao. You know what I'm saying? Lao Gao he knows how to portray the grounded, kung fu style as well on camera. You know what I'm saying? Especially with his directorial films like The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, Return to the 36th Chamber, Disciples of the 36th Chamber, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, My Young Auntie, The Lady is the Boss. You know what I'm saying? Eight Diagram Pole Fire, Legendary Weapons of China. Cat versus Rat. He does a fantastic job, and it's a great it's a great display of these real world Chinese kung fu styles, especially since he comes from a Hong Kun background. You know what I'm saying? And he also has experience in making movies with his father Lao Chan, who taught him Hong Kun. You know what I'm saying? And his Lao Chan's teacher is Lam Sai Wing, and Lam Sai Wing's teacher is the real life kung fu folk hero Wang Fei Hong. So Lao Gao is it's like a descended student of Wang Fei Hong, which is nice. So and him having experience in doing fight choreography and a lot of these wuxia and kung fu films, especially ones written by Cheng for Shaw Brothers, he was able to combine real kung fu and movie kung fu very well, and that's what makes him very unique, especially with the fight choreography, being displayed here. You know what I'm saying? We get to see the Shaolin Jing Ken Fist, or the Sulum Gum Gong Kun, and the Wudan Ba Guajian, or the Modan Bakwa Kim in Cantonese, displayed very well in this film. You know what I'm saying? It's very fantastic to watch. The training sequences are also with the Shaolin training sequences and the Wudan training sequences are just phenomenal. Especially when you have Gordon Liu and Adam Cheng training in the respective styles is just awesome. The fight between Gordon Liu and Li Hoi Sun, just phenomenal. And Adam Cheng, his display of the Wudan sword style, or the Wudan Bakwak Kim, or Modon Bakwak Kim, is just awesome. Or Wudan Ba Guajian in Mandarin. The fight scenes are very well choreographed, very well shot, very well edited, and very well lit too. And the film as a whole was shot and edited and lit pretty well too. No complaints there. And the music is pretty good. As y'all can tell, it uses library music. You know what I'm saying, as well as some traditional Chinese music. And both were implemented very, very well, so no complaints there. So the action, cinematography, editing, lighting, and music get a 5 out of 5. Overall, Shaolin and Wudang, or Shaolin and Wu-Tang, aka Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, is a pretty dope-ass Hong Kong kung fu film from 1983 that I highly recommend y'all checking out. Oh, before I forget, this is one of the Hong Kong kung fu films that the RZA sampled for the Wu-Tang Clan debut album. Enter the Wu 36 Chambers. You know what I'm saying, which is awesome. And it's one of the main inspirations for the entire Wu-Tang Clan as a whole, because they grew up with a lot of these Hong Kong and Taiwanese martial arts films from back in the day, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I definitely recommend y'all checking it out. This film gets a 4.5 out of 5. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review, despite some hiccups here and there and some of the background noises. Again, I apologize. With that said, let me know what y'all think about Shaolin and Wu-Tang in the comments below if y'all watched it already. If y'all enjoy this video, y'all can hit that like button and share it. Subscribe to the channel if y'all enjoy this type of content. Y'all can also follow me on my other social media accounts, and stay tuned for more reviews and more of the videos along the way. So with all that said, y'all, it's Ogechi Aghaji, aka Oaghaji, aka the Perfect Sensei from the West Coast, signing out. Peace.